Hey everybody, and welcome to another deep dive. Today we're tackling a pretty provocative idea.
Yeah, one that really flies in the face of a lot of what we hear out there.
Right. We're diving into whether happiness is actually like a pointless goal.
A pointless goal.
Pointless goal. And to kick things off, we've got this quote from Jordan Peterson. He's a pretty well-known clinical psychologist and author.
Right, yeah.
And he just straight up says, happiness is a pointless goal.
Wow. Okay.
So, I mean, right off the bat, it kind of makes you stop and think, right?
Yeah, it definitely does. I mean, so much of what we're told is like, go out and find happiness, pursue happiness. It's like this ultimate thing that we're all supposed to be striving for.
Yeah, it's like plastered on everything, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
so to hear someone like Peterson just come out and say that it's pointless, it's kind of jarring.
It is. So unpack that a little bit. What do you think he means by happiness being a pointless goal? I mean, is he saying that happiness is like unattainable, or is it more about the way we go about seeking it?
That's a great question. And honestly, I think there are probably a few ways to interpret what he's saying. Like maybe he's getting at the idea that happiness isn't something you just achieve and then like you've got it forever, right? It's more like, I don't know, think about like, I don't know if you ever had this experience where you work really hard for something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, maybe it's a promotion at work
Mm-hmm.
or finally buying your first house. And, you hit that goal and you're happy. Right.
Of course.
But then, I don't know, a few weeks or months pass and that initial excitement kind of fades.
Yeah. Yeah, I've definitely experienced that.
Right. And you're kind of left wondering like, okay, what's next? What do I strive for now?
So it's almost like happiness is this kind of fleeting thing.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe, just maybe, Peterson is suggesting that directly chasing after happiness might not be the most effective way to live a fulfilling life.
Interesting. So then if happiness isn't the goal, what is? I mean, what should we be aiming for instead?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, right?
Right.
And I think that's where things get really interesting.
Yeah.
Because some folks out there, they suggest that maybe instead of chasing happiness, we should be focusing on building a life of meaning.
Meaning. Huh.
Yeah.
So what does that even mean?
Well, I think it can mean different things to different people, of course.
Right.
But generally, it's about finding something that gives you a sense of purpose. It could be dedicating yourself to a cause you believe in, like volunteering or activism.
Okay.
Or it could be about nurturing deep, meaningful relationships with friends and family.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it's about pursuing knowledge and personal growth.
Yeah, I can see how those things could contribute to a sense of fulfillment, maybe even more so than just chasing fleeting moments of happiness.
Right.
But it's still kind of, it's still a little abstract, the idea of meaning. Like, how do you actually cultivate meaning in your life?
Yeah. No, you're totally right. It's definitely one of those things that's easier said than done. But I think it can be helpful to think about it in terms of concrete actions. Like, imagine for a second that you start volunteering at an animal shelter.
Okay.
It's hard work. Sometimes it's probably pretty heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But you're contributing to something larger than yourself. You're making a difference in the lives of those animals.
Right.
Or imagine mentoring a young person, sharing your skills and experience to help them succeed.
Yeah, that's great.
These kinds of actions, they might not always bring you like pure joy in the moment,
Yeah.
but they often create a sense of purpose and fulfillment that goes way deeper than just, fleeting happiness.
I get that. It's like the satisfaction comes from the impact you're making, not just from feeling good, in that moment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you know what? I'm curious. Have you ever experienced that kind of letdown after achieving a big goal?
Oh, totally. Yeah, I think we all have. Like, you work so hard for something, you finally get it, and then it's not quite what you expected.
Yeah. The happiness isn't as big or as lasting as you thought it would be.
Exactly. And I think it's important to remember that this whole idea, this whole conversation, it's not about rejecting happiness altogether.
No, definitely not.
Joy, contentment, those are great things. We all want to experience those things. It's more about a shift in perspective, I think. Like,
Right.
if we're constantly chasing happiness, directly chasing it, it often eludes us.
It's like trying to catch a butterfly.
Exactly.
The harder you try, the further it flies away.
But if we focus on building a life based on values, purpose, genuine connection with others, then happiness, it might actually become a natural byproduct.
Almost like a welcome companion along the way.
Exactly.
So coming back to Jordan Peterson's quote, happiness is a pointless goal. I think what he's getting at is that it's not about saying happiness is bad. It's more of a challenge to us. Like, hey, think a little deeper about what a truly fulfilling life really looks like.
I agree. And that's what makes this whole thing so powerful, I think. If happiness isn't the be-all, end-all goal, then what values will you choose to guide your life? What impact do you want to have? What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? It's a lot to ponder, you know?
It is. And honestly, this deep dive, it's really just scratching the surface. There's so much more to explore here.
Absolutely.
So to our listeners, I hope this has given you some food for thought. And if you're interested in exploring this further, there are tons of great resources out there. Check out Peterson's work, dive into some philosophy, maybe even talk to some friends and family about what a meaningful life means to them. It's a conversation worth having.
Definitely.
So until next time, keep thinking, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.
And who knows, maybe a little happiness will find you along the way.
Maybe so. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Take care.
See ya.